Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Very
Yeah, today is the 14th of October 2021, and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, our topic today is being parents can be a difficult task, how to help your children without being a helicopter parents. And today's is the part two of this topic. All right, so before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go.
mm. Last time I end with uh, one of a one of the analogy that you provided in last conversation. It's
Mm,
actually the mathematic and yeah, and last time you actually gave uh, an analogy is about the mathematics. For example, uh, your child failed the mathematic
yeah,
uh, check, and let's say he or she is form one, and so now you give him or her the form three questions and let uh and let them to see and whether they can answer or not, and you also can like ask them. Yeah, you can bring the exam question and to your school and give it to the the genius, the 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 students who score the higher marks in in the exams, and you
yeah,
can see, you can ask them whether they they can answer this question or not, and
mm,
most likely they can't answer, yeah, because this is form three question.
yeah,
And yeah, I think this is a good analogy to describe about no matter how you are genius, but if you haven't learned the thing, you can't answer very well. So you need time to learn. You need you need to give yourself the time. You need to put in energy. So uh yeah, you can like know how to answer. You can learn the knowledge. You can answer the question. Yeah. So for people who haven't learned form three syllabus, they surely can answer. Yeah, unless they are very real genius. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think this is a good analogy to let your child know. Yeah, something that you need to work hard. Yeah, and even though your child is score very high mark, you also can uh, like use this technique to let them know. Yeah, currently you score high mark uh is is good. Yeah, it's actually good. Uh but but look at but 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 look at this. If you don't keep up, and then you will fall back. Mm.
mm, yeah,
Okay. But I think this analogy is not suitable for the child who already failed the exam. Yeah, because you see, they they may think they work hard. Uh, they work they work the same. They study the same with their students. I mean sorry. I mean with their classmates.
yeah,
But your child failed the exam, but you uh but their classmate didn't fail the exam. Yeah, so there's a difference here. So they'll say, yeah, maybe if you kind of like explain this, use this analogy to them, and they will say, yeah, in Bontry they can answer the question, but for me, maybe in Bontry I still can't answer for one question. Yeah. So
mm,
yeah. So I don't think this is a good way to kind of like to advise to communicate with a child who already failed the exam. Yeah, and yeah, because um, okay, the first thing is in their mind, you kind of like they know that you want them to pass the exam next time. yeah, they actually know that this is too obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like uh they kind of like try to uh not try to think in that way, but the reality is like that. And no
Mm,
matter what you do, no matter what you do, your goal, your pursue your pursue is actually want him or want her to pass the exam next time.
mm, yeah.
And they have no idea whether next time they can pass the exam. Yeah. They have no idea what if they still can't pass the exam next time. And also, yeah, so no matter what you talk to them in their mind, they will only have one kind of like idea, which is true, and no matter what you do, you just want me to pass the exam next time.
Mm, yeah.
So do you think they'll work hard or not? Maybe yes, maybe no. But I would say this how you convey the message, how you convey the message. And if you yeah, sometimes you need to know what they are concerning. Yeah, sometimes you need to know what they are concerning, and then you need to say out the concerning, say out their concerning. And maybe you not worry about their concern. Maybe sorry, I mean maybe you don't care their concern, or maybe you really care their concern. Maybe you are the person, you are the parents who really want them to pass the exam next time. Then why not you say it out? Why you want to like turn a big way round, and then tell them like yeah, so yeah, form one student cannot answer form three question, but they are form one student, they can't answer form one question. This is a point.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
mm,
be judgmental, right?
mm, yeah. So yeah, so and yeah, so this is and also the reality is not that easy. What if they don't talk to you? They just don't want to communicate with you. They just kind of like listen, passively listen whatever you say.
Mm,
Mm,
yeah.
they don't answer you.
Yeah, the
And
situation like we couldn't walk in their mind, right? They
mm,
just listen.
yeah. Mm. And when you feel that, what would you do? And when you try to ask their opinion, and what they will say, will they say out their real concerns, or they'll say, yeah, next time I will try harder like that. Mm,
Um, yeah, I think sometimes it's difficult. It's really like you say, um, just now the counseling. Do you mean for the parents part or for the child?
for the child, for
For the
example, they
child, right?
say they really don't like the subject.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think the key here um is to let them speak out the counseling, but I know it's difficult.
Mm, yeah. And no, I mean, if your child tell you that they don't like the subject, what would you do? And you will give another explanation. Yeah, like you like no matter you dislike the subject or not, yeah, you need to like study hard, you need to work hard. Yeah, so it's important. So if you continue to fail the exam, like it will reduce your grades, and maybe you can't uh maybe you can't like get the certificates. Yeah, get the living schools certificates, and you can't find a job, all that. Will you want to tell them in this way?
Um, I think yeah, if we explain explain to them like this, especially after they fail the exam, they already like not very they maybe they feel sad already, and then also feel demotivated already, and this kind of explanation or speaking to them, I think maybe couldn't help. Yeah.
But what can you do? Do nothing? Do you think do nothing is a good way?
Do nothing is not a good way.
Yeah.
Um,
And what can you
uh,
do?
for now, currently, maybe I think for parents, um, they need to uh, they they need to kind of uh, um, they need to tell them that yeah, I think this is a choice for parents. Maybe tell them that uh, they they really don't care about uh, how much you score in the exam, and then
If you tell them like this, what would they think? And you tell me that you don't mind how much I score, then why now I feel the exam you comes to me? If you really don't care, you will just do nothing. You'll just say nothing.
um,
Your behavior and your attitude is not the same, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult.
Mm. Yeah, and try to ask another question. If now you can go back 10 years earlier, that means
Mm,
a return back when you are maybe uh 12 years old or even 10 years old, you
okay.
still hold your memory.
Mm,
Yeah, or any age you are still a student. Okay, and yeah, so you back to the past and you still hold your memory, but of course some of the question you can't answer, because the question has changed, and you
mm,
may lose the ability to answer to answer a question to prepare for the exam. Yeah, because you haven't prepared the exam, so maybe you can't score higher, or maybe you can even fail the exam. Yeah,
mm, yeah.
I mean for secondary school subject. Yeah,
Mm.
and what would you do if you fail your exam?
Um, if I fail my exam, um, for my case, I think I still um, okay. Firstly, I know that the score uh, isn't that important, and it won't change something big in the future. And but for my case, I still need to you know get the mark that can pass and then go to the next grade. I still have to find ways uh, to deal with it, and mainly for uh, the the learning part, and then to find out um, the way that I prepare for the exam, and also the way that I learn in the class, and then also when I was doing revision.
No, I mean, I asked you what would you do, not what would you think. Yeah, what you told me is what would you think, and what would you do? You haven't tell me. What would you do in order to pass the exam?
Um,
So in your mind, you
mm,
don't even have a most effective, more efficient way to pass the exam in a in the shortest periods. Yeah, even for yourself, how can you know? How can you know uh the way to help your child?
Mm.
Yeah, you just tell something not a big deal, tell something a lesson, and yeah, uh, eventually we become the person that we don't like. And we also don't want to be when we are still a child. The adult know a lot of lessons, but they just know to say. They don't really do. They don't really
Mm.
behave in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If for me, if I still hold my memory, and then I I back to my secondary school years, and if I found that I failed the exam, for example, mathematics or
Mm.
science, or even Malay subject, yeah, English I don't think I will fail. Yeah, and Chinese also I don't think I'll fail, and maybe history also I will fail the exam. Yeah, so a lot of exam I probably will fail. Yeah,
Mm.
because I almost forget all the syllabus. Yeah. So what would I do? I would ask my parents send me to tuition center. Yeah, send me to tuition center, and then I relearn the thing. Yeah, find the best tu- find the best tuition teachers and teach me the thing.
Mm.
Mm. So yeah, in a very short period, uh, I can pack the exam because uh, in my past experience, I once, yeah, I failed the exam a lot of time. Yeah, I failed the trial exam, like when I was in form three. Yeah, and the time between the trial exam and the real exam, the PMR, just a few months, about
Mm.
2 or 3 months. I turned the mark from fail, from below 40 to A. A maybe is above 75 or maybe above 80.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not just pass the exam, I score A.
Mm.
Yeah. And how about Malay? When I was at primary six, I also failed the exam, failed the Malay exam in trial. I also failed the Malay subject in trial exam. And I score, I think I score C. Yeah, I score C in the real exam. Yeah. And also the Malay is not the lowest score in the living school exam. The UPSR is my English. Yeah, my English fail, just score D.
Mm.
My Malay got two subjects. One I score C, one I score B. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can really pass the exam in a very short time. It's not a big deal. It's a very easy thing to do. Yeah. So if so, how you think in about the score, how you think about the mark, how you think about uh the exam. Yeah. So try to be yourself. Try to think what would you do if this is you to face the same problem,
Mm.
and you can tell the story to your child. Yeah, just to repeat the same principle. Can you still be yourself uh when you're nurturing your child?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And if you can't solve the problem, how can you expect a child, yeah, an amateur, a child with an amateur mind to solve the problem? If you
Mm.
if you a mature grown adult still couldn't solve the problem, how can you expect your child solve the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you can't solve the problem, and how can you explain? How can you persuade them? Yeah. How can you like counseling them? Counsel them to let them like think positively, and also like uh uh let them to try some way, and also offer them, suggest them to do something in order to change, to make a change.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is a thing. Uh, just now the case. when I just now one of the case I mentioned, what if they don't talk to you? Yeah, if you keep behave like the traditional methods, like the conventional with the conventional thinking, you
Yeah.
just keep explain and want your child work harder, and eventually they'll end up don't want to talk to you because they know that you are not the person they can talk with. Mm, yeah, yeah. And also another thing is, what if you did everything and your child did everything that that you can that that you can imagine that you can uh that so I mean like
Any
your
possible
child.
solution we've tried?
Yeah, yeah, any possible solution of trying and they still fail the exam.
Mm.
Yeah, could you accept the fact? Yeah, this is also another problem. And at that time, uh maybe you don't uh maybe at that time you shouldn't like tell them so many big lessons, and you can tell them, yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Mm. Just like in our life, a lot of things we feel to do that, but it's also not a big deal. Mm. This is something that you yeah, try to imagine if there's a person's always always like giving you the lessons that you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, nothing impossible every time you feel the exam. Would you like do you like the person? You definitely don't like the person.
I will feel
Yeah,
stress when
yeah,
coming to him, right?
yeah. And also you will think they don't understand you.
Mm. Yeah.
They don't understand your problem. Yeah. Mm. Okay, and okay, and for my part, okay, and I think something that we need to know. Uh, there are something we there are something uh yeah, there are a lot of things we can teach our child, and it depends on us whether we want to teach, whether we have time or not. But also we need to aware that there are something that we cannot teach our child. Yeah, maybe we can explain to them. Maybe we can try to provide them the knowledge. We can try to teach, but they can't really receive the same piece of knowledge, the same piece of experience. They can't. Yeah, they still will feel their way in order to understand the lessons. Yeah.
Okay. So do you
So
mean that we couldn't help them to experience something?
yeah, we couldn't help
Mm.
them to experience something. They need to experience by themselves.
Mm-mm.
And if they don't, if they have never experienced that, they can't really learn the lessons.
Mm.
No, no matter how many times, how well you talk to them, they just can't understand uh the lessons. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, and yeah, and yeah, and okay, and I will split into the few part. Okay, the first one is about the teaching,
Okay.
and the second is about the forcing. Yeah, you of course sometimes you need to force your child. Yeah, sometimes you did need to force your child, just
Mm.
like sometimes you will need to force yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they uh because they try hard. I mean, uh they they feel hard to force themselves. Yeah, they don't have that discipline.
Yeah. They need
Mm,
someone to help them to push them, right?
yeah. Mm. And also the third one is the supporting. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and about the teaching, and I will let them know why you need to learn the thing. Yeah, yeah, why you need to learn the thing, and also I will teach them some learning methods. For example, the female learning methods, which is teaching is the best way of learning. It's the most effective way of learning. For example, yeah, okay, and okay, and this link to the second point, which is forcing, and what I will force them to do. For example, journaling. Yeah, and journaling can link to the female learning methods. I will ask them to to use to use this to use different language to do the journaling. For example, not only Chinese and also Malay and also English. Yeah, yeah, and it can through it can through oral and also it can through writings. Yeah, but I also need to uh communicate with them. Yeah, also for example, if they use like the Malay language, I also need to learn. I also need to relearn. I also need to speak the Malay language. Yeah, so this is kind of like become a model. If 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 you yourself don't even try to do the thing, how how can you expect your child also uh, how can you expect your child do the thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this is the first thing. Yeah, and for example, and I will I will let them know why you need to learn the subject, and you don't need to score high, even though you feel the exam I can accept. But I want you to understand what you actually can learn from this subject, and and I and okay, and this the following thing I will not talk to them. Yeah, maybe I also talk to them, and for me, I truly believe if you really understand why you need to learn the thing and you try to learn the course thing, try to gain the knowledge from the particular subject, you less you less likely will fail the exam, and yeah, and maybe you can even score the highest mark. Mm. And for example, like the language subject,
Yeah.
yeah, I once let I won't let them to like kind of like memory a whole essay. I uh I don't want them to do that. Yeah, and instead, yeah, I will try to force them to cultivate the journaling by using different language, and they can learn the language, learn the grammar, learn the vocabulary, uh, uh, and also learn to shaping their mind, learn the critical thinking through their writing, through their sharing. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think for language subject, uh, in my humble opinion, this is the most important thing in language subject because you need you the ability you need to learn is use the particular language to express your feeling, to share your thoughts, to really convey the message that you want to that you want to that actually in your that in your mind. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and using different language to do that have a huge advantage. Yeah, because it actually create more link. Yeah, so something couldn't directly explain in, let's say, in Chinese, but it can directly explain in English.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and so you also through the way you also can learn that how to use an analogy, how to use a story to explain a thing. Yeah, this is the skill of conveying your message. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think a person's uh who don't share frequently, they just keep everything in their mind.
Mm.
They don't write out, they don't share, and they can really like kind of like let people know uh what they are thinking through the like speaking, through like the through a speech. or through writing. Yeah, something that you need to cultivate. Yeah, to understand what is in your mind. And most of the time, when you are saying something, and also when you are writing something, you certainly know that there is some part that I not fully understand.
Yeah.
So that I couldn't write anymore. And previously you think you already fully understand, but it's not. Yeah. So this is kind of like a combine the female learning methods, yeah, with the journaling. Yeah. And also journaling is a good thing. Yeah. It can like increase your long-term happiness level. And I will like require them, force them to do meditation. And meditation is a very good way to let you become smart. Yeah, because it can change our brain physically. Yeah. And I want them to do that since they're young. Yeah.
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 To
And I
train
want
the
them.
awareness, right?
Yeah. And yeah, it not only increase awareness. Do you know that actually meditation can really change can change your brain physically? It can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
Plasticity.
increase. What?
The plasticity of brain, right? One of the way to change it is by meditation.
Yeah, yeah. And also, in your prefrontal cortex, there's like there's like a layer which is filled with the gray substance, and this is very important part. This like the spout. Yeah, 海绵 this like a spout, and and if the part being damaged, and yeah, you lose the ability of thinking. So it's a very important part. And by doing meditation, it can increase the thickness of the gray substance. Yeah, so it can change your brain physically, and it actually mentioned in the 10 minutes meditation book. And also, I will force them to do exercise. Yeah, exercise is also important. This
Yeah.
is something that we discussed in the past, and also we also discussed in about about the child, and the child, and also like even though a baby, yeah, they need touch, they need exercise. And if you let and and if you face a dilemma whether you want to give them to do exercise, to do exercise, to play a like sport, or stay in the classroom to study, you should choose to let them play, to do exercise. Yeah, if you face a dilemma. So you can see how exercise is how important the exercise was, especially when they are still very young. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a time their brain uh change and also grow the faster. Yeah, so you need to like grab the golden moments. Yeah, to kind of like to to let the brain grow to their maximum, to grow to their potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next one is about the supporting. Yeah. So for example, yeah, and also is it based on the principle that I mentioned. You still need to be you still need to be yourself. For example, in last conversation, you say that you won't restrict your child to form relationship when they are still young. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's you, if you go back to secondary school, if you go back to primary school, will you restrict yourself to form a relationship with other girls?
No.
Why?
Yeah, being a child themselves, they won't restrict themselves, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
not for them, but for you.
For me, yeah, I also won't.
Why?
Um, yeah, because why do I need to restrict myself to have a relationship with others? I think there is
I
um
mean the romantic relationship.
yeah.
No. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think it's okay, but just the rule, like the teacher and maybe some of the strict parents, they don't let them to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, but for me myself, I think there is something to learn
Hmm.
from romantic relationship.
Yeah, but do you care whether teacher like it or not? Do you care whether your girlfriend's parents like it or not?
Um, I think um I will of course I will care a little. For example, if the teacher already mentioned that you couldn't do that in class, and then maybe I do it
Yeah, yeah,
secretly.
yeah. They of course. No, no, no. If the teacher tell you you cannot form a romantic relationship, and what will you do? And you'll say, I know it already. Yeah, okay. Teacher, I know it. Yeah. So next time I won't do in front of your eyes.
Hmm.
Is it something like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
of
you
course.
or you
I don't tell them.
yeah, yeah. Or what or in your mind you actually yo okay I know it, so I won't form any I won't form any romantic relationship with girl. In when I was still a child. Yeah, you won't. Yeah. So what if your father tell you that I don't restrict you to get a girlfriend. Yeah, in case it's a male child, I don't
Mm,
restrict you to get a girlfriend. Yeah. But I want to let you know the consequence. For example, uh, a teacher the teacher may like may like punish you, and also they'll separate you, and also uh your girlfriend's parents will also comes to you like do that, and also
mm.
and and when the teachers comes to me, and also when like the your girlfriend's parents come to me, and I can't help you like that. This is something that you say. This is something that you say in last
Mm.
conversation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I think yeah, I don't know why you talk into this way. I think it yeah, I found the point that something got problems,
Mm,
and what I should do is like I maybe I tell my son, okay, I may tell him that okay, actually having a relationship is good, and you have a lot of things to learn, and you will feel happy, and this is something you must face when you along the way you grow up, and of course this is a choice for you, but it is good to try. So I maybe even encourage them to try, and
mm,
also at the same time maybe I can also tell them the boundaries, what they what maybe the consequences of doing something which is beyond the boundaries.
mm. And also you can teach them some technique how to like do it privately, so teacher won't realize. And what if
Mm.
your girlfriend's parents your child girlfriend's parents come to you, and what if the teacher comes to you mention to you in like the parents day or something like that. Mm. What would you do? What would you respond to teacher in front of your son, in front of your son eyes?
Yeah, I think um, um, yeah, maybe just the same as I told to my child. Like having a relationship isn't a bad thing, and it is something that they have to face it. Uh,
Yeah, so do you still push push back to your son?
Push
And
back
I
to
miss I
them.
miss no I miss
Yeah.
like on the parents' day, and your teacher and your son teacher mentioned this to you.
Mm.
How do you respond to your teacher?
Yeah, maybe I will show um maybe I will tell them that this is what I support them to do, and then I already told them uh the things that they have to bear in mind, and then also something like to juggle with studies and relationship. So there won't be a big problem.
Yeah, but what if your child's teacher say that no, yeah, you can feel that way and you can think in that way, but do you think about the girl side? Yeah, maybe the girl side cannot like focus at academic anymore when the girls are in the relationship. Teacher is not stupid. Yeah, and
Mm.
you also are a teacher. If you want to, if you are the like the class teacher, and you want to persuade the parents advise and also force their child to stop forming relationship, you have thousands of ways to do that.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's like kind of game theory. You need to think what the teacher will say. It's not
Mm.
think what you will say. Yeah, of course, what you say is also important, but what your teacher will say is also important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if the teacher tell you like this? Yeah.
Mm. Then how about the reality, the result of the girl? Uh, yeah, go
Maybe
up or
good,
go down.
maybe good or maybe bad, but the teacher can also say something that the history cannot predict the future. Mm.
Yeah. So um um yeah, in my mind, I would consider like to tell the teacher that how about let's see the next exam, but I feel like if I say so, it's like jumping into the trap of the
Yeah,
teacher,
yeah.
and um yeah, maybe I will kind of say something just to um uh j- just fool the teacher, and then tell them that I will tell my son, and then yeah, but I still allow them to do it secretly.
Mm. But this is something that you do influence your son eyes. If you are the child, you see your father doing in this way, do you how do you feel about your father?
Yeah, I feel my father couldn't stand out for me, and
Yeah, he asked me
and then
to
it seems like what I do is it's not really permitted.
mm, he asked me to do the thing. He encouraged me to do the thing, but he didn't stand up for me.
Mm,
Yeah, so this is a
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
So this is why I mentioned about the supporting. Supporting is
Mm,
also one of the important things. And
yeah,
yeah, if it was me,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the principle is be yourself. Be yourself. If you truly think that forming a relationship when when you are a child is not a good thing, then your behavior will be changed. Yeah, you will restrict your child to do that. But for me, I truly believe that forming a relationship when you're still a child is also a good. It's also uh, a good learning. It's also a good experience.
Mm,
Yeah. So yeah, I will stand up for my child in front of a teacher. I will tell teacher, yeah, when I was in secondary school, my teacher tell me that I couldn't form relationship when I was in sorry, I mean, when I was kindergarten. My
mm,
teacher told me I couldn't form a relationship because I'm just kindergarten.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a little child. Yeah, I can't even uh make my sex organs to stand up. Yeah, so I really don't have the ability to form into a relationship because nothing else I can do. I accept I accept that advice. You can say something. And in primary school also the same. Yeah, but I already can control. I can control my sex organ. Yeah, but the teacher tell me that this is an important period. You need to pass the exam. Otherwise, uh, if you go to the government school, if you go to a public school, and you need to spend 1 more year to study compared to other people. So it will ruins your life.
Yeah.
So you need to like hold a moment. And when I go to secondary school, I think that I finally can like form a relationship with girls. I can really like to do something that I want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the teacher say me the same thing. If you feel, yeah, they even bigger problem. If you fail the Malay subject and you can't get the certificate, yeah, so they still restrict us to form a relationship. Yeah. And how about go to college? How about go to after I get a first job?
Yeah. More and
And
more important.
yeah, and people say to me, you don't have money, so you should work hard first. Otherwise, how can you give your girlfriend, your wife, your future wife a good family, a house, a car, that's needed, all the things. Yeah. And when I was below 20, I truly believe, I truly take the advice. But after I'm mature enough, I truly think that is bullshit. So are you talking to me? I should tell my child to experience something that I don't believe, that I think is bullshit, and waste 20 years of life when they actually can do that right now. I don't think so, teacher.
Yeah. So you even think that relationship, I mean the romantic relationship is something so important to learn, even compare with academic,
Yeah,
it won't be something lower than academic, right, in terms of
yeah,
priority.
yeah. And
Mm.
also, uh, yeah, the teacher, do you know that one of the best indicator about the happiness? Do you know why? Do you know the meaning of life? Many people tell you the meaning of life is happiness. It's not the wealth. It's not about the career. It's about the
Yeah.
happiness. Yeah, and do you know why is the first indicator of happiness? It's actually relationship, romantic relationship.
Mm.
Yeah, and I want my child to learn that as soon as possible, as early as possible. Yeah, so they
Mm.
can first they can become happier, and also they can live longer than other
Mm.
people. This is more important than academics. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know your standing point. You just want to push the problem back to us, and you don't want to face the problem. You don't because yeah, if something happen, you are the person need to responsible for this. But I can tell you that I already teach my child uh the pregnancy preventions, all the things, and they should know, yeah, what something can do and something they can do
Mm.
within when they are still under 16 years old. Yeah, they
Mm.
know about the law. They probably know more than you about psychology. Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, we know, standing from your viewpoint, you don't want us to form a relationship. I don't blame you because you're a teacher. If I'm a teacher, I also will try to do that thing to reduce my problem.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
This is your point of view, and you can still hold your point of view. Yeah, as a parent, as a father of this of my son, I also need to hold my point of view. Yeah, I need to let them do something that I think is right.
Mm. Yeah.
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 So truly support your child if you think something is right. Yeah, just like you found that if you found that somebody bully your child, you also will stand up for your child. Yeah, same thing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that really the principle that we mentioned last conversation and also today is really important. And just like the supporting just now. And firstly, I say I support, but when it comes to talking to the teachers and then kind of having a debate or what, and then the principle is very important for me. I mean, the parent themselves need to really be themselves, what believe in what they think, and then for example, just now in my case, maybe romantic relationship. I say it is important, and then they need to learn. But when the teacher talk about academic things, and at that time, I don't know why I couldn't like um, using this point to argue anymore because in my mind, I didn't really think romantic relationship is more important than academic.
Mm,
So I think this is also a part is attributable to the belief of the parents themselves, whether
mm.
they really be themselves, they really believe in something which is important. If they do, they must defend and support the kids.
Yeah, so it actually go back to the parents' ability. Do you
Mm,
really have ability in your life? Do
yeah.
you really like can live your life well? If you can, so you can like grow your child. You can like give
Mm,
up a child, and you can become a mentor, become a teacher, become the parents of your child. Otherwise, you can't even figure out, you can't even understand what's in your mind, what's your life, and
mm,
you want to give up a child and let them suffer. Don't do that. Don't be a
mm.
responsible uh parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like really today I kind of learned a lot, and then I also feel amazing that you can put yourself into other people's shoes in a way that um uh yeah really well. And even though I sometimes I say to myself that to me, if I see myself, I think I'm quite considerate. I also put myself into other people's shoes, but I couldn't think so much. I couldn't really put into myself into other people's shoes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and about the teacher, and one thing more, and if the teacher give you the warning, yeah, if they bring out the principals and bring out the school, bring out the school rules, bring out the school law,
Mm.
and they want to like uh they actually ask you to leave the school. Yeah. So what would you do in that case? Do you still defend for your child, find another school, or actually you like you accept that, and you give up your standing point. Yeah.
Okay,
If,
I think
yeah, if
uh,
it's hmm? Yeah, what do you think?
I think for in that case, I think maybe I'll tell them that I need some time, okay, to reply you, maybe 1 or 2 days, and then I need to talk to my son, and then of course, uh, maybe he uh is or isn't there in front of the teacher, right? Maybe in case he didn't know, and I will also tell him about the whole story, and then
No,
yeah, I need to
because
let.
yeah, normally it done in the okay for me
Mm,
if this is done on the parents' day,
yeah.
and my friend uh should should sit next to me, and
Mm-mm.
he should sit next to me, and she can listen everything, the whole conversation. And if this is something like the teacher call me, yeah, and I also will ask my son to come and listen. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So I for me myself, I won't do this I wouldn't like kind of like reply teacher uh uh without without like the eyes eyeing or maybe like the seeing. Yeah, I mean without like the uh without the presence of my sons.
Mm.
Yeah, try to do that in front of them. This is actually a respect. Mm.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
trust. Yeah.
because this is something that discuss about them.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So let's say if this is the case, that the teacher say this in front uh of you and also in front of your child.
Mm.
Yeah. So you say you need some time like to discuss with your child. Is
Mm.
some
Yeah, actually, the true problem is I already feel um, uh, something like a dilemma and don't know what to do, and I need some time. And also, I also think that um, for kids, we also need to have a discussion with them, and then not like doing something on behalf of them.
yeah. And for me, in this case, I will let them choose. Let my son choose. Mm. Yeah, but I fully support if they don't want to study in this school anymore. This is a this is not a school. Yeah, this is a jail. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So if they if you want to leave the school, we can go to another school. Yeah. If not, no school want to accept us, we do homeschooling. Never mind. Yeah, we don't
Mm.
mind it. Homeschooling, the result of homeschooling can better than go to the public school. Yeah, really don't mind it. Yeah, and
Mm.
also yeah, I still couldn't decide whether I want to send my child to the school or I should do the homeschooling. Yeah, yeah. So really not the problem to me.
Mm.
Yeah, because it actually it actually is my plan. Yeah, so all the thing is kind of like is under the plans. So for example, I say that I want to earn 1 million or 2 millions. So after that, I will give up a child. So that means I have the ability in terms of time, in terms of energy, in terms
Mm.
of knowledge. I can learn the knowledge again. So I have the ability to do the homeschooling. Yeah, I can have time to be with them. Yeah, to solve a
Yeah.
problem, to go to go through the toughest part together with them. Yeah,
Mm.
so they don't need to face everything by themselves. Yeah, yeah, I can be their supporter, but they need to but of course they need to learn by themselves how to solve a problem. Yeah, and because this is their life. Yeah,
Mm.
and I don't want them to become like the what is it called, the uh in Chinese we call uh 胆小如鼠. Yeah, so it's something like uh you need to
Yeah.
like
Timid.
follow the you need to follow the rules, and you cannot do something that other people don't allow you to do. You cannot truly live to your potential. I don't want my child to become that. Yeah,
Mm.
just like I don't want myself to keep continuing and to like keep running in the rat race. I don't want myself to become a rat. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means uh if my if uh if I follow my plans uh accordingly, so I should have the time to do the homeschooling. Yeah. So really don't need don't that's not the big deal. I mean, if the school don't allow us to continuing
Mm.
studying, yeah, so it's not a big deal for me. But how about for other parents? there is problem. There is a big problem because they may consider, yeah, if the child, yeah, no other school want to accept my child, so uh what's the consequence of all and all that, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll have a lot of consideration. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, and also they don't have time. They don't have time to solve the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so anything else want to add?
Yeah, I think no. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake to make, please also comment to let us know because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like, subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.